Oh my god, meet the second that Dutch shows up. Hi, hello. I love cats. Oh gosh. Hey guys. The last dinner party mentioned? Yes, well, that's always gonna be me. I feel like it's been so long. I know. Guys, I hate to tell you this, but streaming isn't my job anymore, which means I don't get to do it that often. Also, let me know. I know this is like so Snifferish to say this, but let me know if the music is too loud or the game. I got a new, like, I got a new, oh my god, why am I blocking myself? Hello? Sorry. I got a new, why am I angry? Did I press a button? Did I press the angry button? One second. What different states do I have here? There we go. Yeah, I'm using the PNG tuber today because I can't be bothered to like put my face on the internet right now. That's just so much work. So much work I don't have to. I need to sit here and be a loser and build in Minecraft before I am being slay. Um Semi lurking, semi playing Dragon Age, please say hi. But okay, you know what? Sure, sure. The Kiki's house was amazing. I'm so excited for more builds. Thank you. Thank you. I'm working on we're actually gonna do some builds, or we're gonna do some builds today for a video, but they're not the main subject of the video, if that makes sense. Yeah. I have a habit of, oh, first of all, welcome to my blue void. I have a habit of building in these colored voids. I don't know why. It's something. Is my FOB different? Yo, thank you so much.
Poa Poa.
24 months, 2 years. Yeah, I have this habit of like building in a strange, endless void because I don't know. I feel like something that I talk a lot about in my life is the idea of visual noise, which is where something is so visually stimulating that I can't focus. And as somebody with ADHD, building in these like super flat colored worlds have helped me so much. Okay, wait. Let me get my blocks together. So today we're building some sets. For potential bits. Not even potential bits, they're going to be bits. Hello, Atlas! I'm about to go to freaking class. Well, go get educated. That's important. I mean, you're probably like, what? That in the grand scheme of thing, that class probably costs like $300. Go enjoy that $300 class. You know? I say that half as a joke, but education is very expensive. So if I've been watching you since 2021, that's fantastic. One second, let me pull up my own reference image here. Okay, what was I looking for again? Oh. All right, I pulled it up. Also, shout out to Bones for making me coffee before today's stream. Can I get a better quality photo of this? Okay, we're gonna need a lot of sandstone, I think. Ooh, a lot of sandstone. We'll just lay it all out as our block palette and we'll figure out where to go from there. I played Minecraft Survival with a bunch of PvPers and they were dissing Birch. I was so devastated. I feel like Birch really depends for me. You know, everything is about the context it's used in. Okay, here's my hot take. As somebody who used to be like a staunch block hater of many blocks, and there's still some blocks that I really don't like, but I think that the reason why I dislike them is because of the limited palette in Minecraft and the fact that I feel like it doesn't have much use. Like, okay, for example, right? When we added copper, weathered copper, right? This is such a beautiful block, but I didn't really like it at first because, I don't know, I was like not sure where to use it. But then when they added cherry wood later on, suddenly my appreciation for this block is so much more intense because of the ability I have to combine it with this block. So sometimes I think things are more so about how we have to use them. I know for me, for example, like I dislike diorite sometimes because I feel like I'm forced to use it in situations where I wish I could use a less noisy block. Okay, wait, someone redeem hydrate. Did I take a sip from my water or my coffee? Probably my water. Anyways, I hope that explanation makes sense, but that's just like what I've come to understand about myself and my opinions on blocks. Not that it even matters that much. I mean, you know, what's the harm in having a little fun with it? All right, where's the quartz? Ominous rumbling in the background. Hi, Sniff. It's been a really long time since I caught one of your streams. I wanted to say hi. Hello. I think it's always so funny. I feel like everyone always comes in here. They're like, oh my God, I haven't been here forever. And I'm like, girl, me too. I miss streaming. I really do. It's not something that I have as much time for anymore. It also takes up so much energy, chat. I think I didn't realize how much energy streaming took up until I transitioned over to YouTube. Because once I transitioned over to YouTube, I realized that I could do much longer work days because they required a lot less social interaction. Sniff, I submitted the zine for the LEGO internship and past interns like it a lot. Yay! I used to hate I used to hate birch because childish reasons, but started to use it in builds for beds and some flooring. Dude, exactly. Oh, dude. Chatter says, I have ADHD and autism. I want to become multiple things like an animator and a voice actor. Yeah, that's kind of me. Honestly, okay. This is why being a content creator is like my favorite thing. Because here's the thing. I'm streaming right now. I'm about to build in Minecraft. You want to know what's also on my desk? On my desk, I also have 2 papers printed out called On the Psychology of Uncanny, written in 1906, and then the Stanford Encyclopedia of Psychology or Philosophy Archive with a article on environmental aesthetics. So like, you know, the one thing I truly love about my job is I had a very similar feeling of like, oh man, like I want to do 1,000 different things. And even when I started making Minecraft content, I think I had this idea of like, oh, I have to make Minecraft content, guys. Guys, it has to be Minecraft. Like, if it's anything else, no, like, who says I can't make Minecraft and talk about environmental aesthetics? Like, oh, literally nobody. Like, so, you know, be who you want to be, Barbie girl. If you want to read about environmental aesthetics, do it. If you want to be a voice actor, just do it. Like, I don't know. I know that's like such basic, you know, life lesson information and not entirely all that helpful, but you know, I still like this is something I'm still struggling with as well. I actually was just speaking to someone about this yesterday because I was talking about how like unqualified I feel so often, especially in regards to learning. I'm not somebody who went to a higher education. I didn't go to college because I was very wrapped up in the whole being a Minecraft YouTuber thing. And sometimes I have these like tense moments of self-doubt where I'm like, oh, like, can I even like talk about this? Can I even read this? Can I even can I even read this? Am I allowed to read a paper about environmental aesthetics because I'm not in school? And I'm like, yeah, duh. Like, it's hard because it's something that we have to combat internally. So it's not something that we get over with, you know, immediately. So the best thing you can do is to just be really patient with yourself. Hey, it's never too late. I mean, I agree. I think it's never too late to go to school, but I also think that you don't have to be in school to learn. Like, that's another thing is like, honestly, with you guys, the main reason why I didn't go to school on top of the Minecraft stuff was because school wasn't, for me at least, living in the US, I personally feel like most school environments are, especially higher education, is operating most of the time more like, you give them money and they teach you stuff, and that does fundamentally change the relationship and their motives as a institution. And so I just have always personally felt like, I'm not saying that college is useless. I think that it's very useful. That structure is so important for some people, but I don't like to uphold the idea that college is the only place where you can learn. especially since college is very expensive and sometimes can be widely inaccessible for a variety of reasons. You literally inspired me to do my art how I want to and not how others do. Oh, that's fantastic. I don't know why I'm changing these blocks. This makes no difference. I feel like I want some sort of different block here, but I'm not sure what I want to do. Maybe... No, I kind of like this. A lot of creative classes can sometimes actually hinder creativity by putting rules around it. Well, I like that too. Like, I do like sometimes I think the reason why people struggle with the idea of creativity under rules is because they were never taught why that's valuable in the first place. Like, honestly, I think that's my main issue with most education in general is it just kind of does stuff and you're just supposed to, like, if you ask, hey, why are we doing this? Then most of the time they say, because we are. Like, I feel like, oh, thank you so much, Danu, for complimenting my PNG tuber. It was done by Wello Twig on Twitter. I don't know actually if that's still their handle, but, you know, but I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, when I was in school, I would actively ask teachers why we were learning things. And I think it would genuinely, like, scare teachers a little bit when I did that because I feel like when they're used to being asked that question, in their head, they're being asked by a student who doesn't want to participate in class. So I think it's really interesting. Like, I kind of would watch their brain break sometimes when a student who was normally seen as very cooperative would ask such a question. And most of the time, they would answer me pretty honestly, which is that they don't entirely know. Like, you know, even the same thing with, like, math, for example, right? Why do we learn math? We learn math because of problem-solving skills. Problem-solving skills are important. Do I think we could teach problem-solving skills in a variety of manner other than math? Yes. Do I still think that math is important? Yes. But the main thing about the US education system is, despite the fact that problem-solving skills are supposedly the goal of math, also I'm changing my mind in doing this, even though problem-solving skills are supposedly the goal of math, for some reason they focus less on the skill of problem-solving in their grading and more on the technical answers, which makes no sense. The what's being assessed and the actual goal then have no correlation. I have so many friends who think that they're absolutely terrible at math, when the reality is that they just were not properly taught the foundations of problem solving, at least within the context of math. And it sucks. Like, that's, in my opinion, like, that's the education system failing them, not them failing the education system. I still use math. No, I use math too. I'm saying this like, I feel like I love math quite a bit. Like, I am a math nerd, but I think that's because, like, I was introduced to it in a certain way and the context I have around it was completely different than most people. Yeah, I feel like that's the thing is okay, right. Let me explain as well. I have friends who are teachers in both elementary school, college, and high school. And I love asking them about, like, the ways that they're engaging with their students and stuff like that. Because, you know, I would say the majority of my audience are students. Like, whether they're college aged or high school aged or, you know, like in that, I mean, think about the age range that people are students. They're students from age 5 to potentially beyond 25, you know, is kind of a big number. And so something that I find to be really interesting is while colleges are, like, getting really tight about AI policies, elementary schools and high schools are embracing it. And I think that's really interesting because it says a lot about the difference between standardized mandatory education and the education that we see beyond it. I want to clarify, this is not me agreeing with the fact that high schools and elementary schools are embracing AI, but I think that them embracing AI is a much more, I want to say, transparent piece of evidence towards their ideology as teachers. Like, they don't want to necessarily, like, that's not me saying, I think that AI literacy is important. If AI is going to be here, I think that children should know how to interact with it, obviously. But I feel like it kind of feeds into the whole goal of, yeah, we're not actually teaching you how to be a student, we're teaching you how to be a worker. And that's how I felt pretty much for most of my more former education. And I know that a lot of Americans feel like that too. The hate for math is defo caused by how schools teach and not the subject itself. Yeah. I also think that it's like, unfortunately, one of those things where it really builds upon itself. So if you don't get it in the early years and nobody takes the effort to help you, then you're kind of screwed. And that's also not your fault, you know? So I don't know why I'm building this like this. I literally have a reference photo right here. Okay, if anyone's wondering, by the way, I am low-key building the School of Athens. I think I want it to be a little bit wider, though. I think I want this, yeah. How, no, it's about 4 wide. Okay, we want this to be bigger, I think. This is what I get for yapping. In my college, some professors actually push AI, but then like higher facility are actually very strict on its use, which makes an odd dilemma, and it's something I've heard about in other institutions. Yes, yes. I literally have heard of some colleges straight up having their own ChatGPT variant, and then some colleges trying to switch to pen and paper so that they can completely avoid it. It's so interesting. Then again, I think the biggest issue is like, I think that our knowledge has been progressing quicker than education has for a while. And I don't really know the solution to that. I wonder if that's something that like education needs more resources in, or like I said, I don't know the solution to that. If I knew the solution, I wouldn't be sitting here in a Minecraft stream saying it. But my point is like, even when I was a child, right? I was told that most college education classes were like, most college textbooks normally became outdated on average after 2 years. Like, and that's like textbooks, human textbooks. So I don't know what could be said about the potentials around AI. Any AI education that somebody receives now could be outdated in years. It probably will be.
WOAG, that's over a year.
Yeah, whoa, thank you. Switching to pen and paper actually causes accessibility issues, though, unfortunately. It's a really sad cycle that never seems to end. I fully agree. As somebody who has, oh gosh, it sucks. Guys, I love writing with my hands. I love handwriting, but I also have arthritis in my wrist, so yeah. Also, we had to take a class that talks about ethical AI use. So colleges are on top of AI, but it's becoming so advanced that they will lose control of it at some point. Yes, I think that that's another issue. It's hard too because, like I said, I think in the first place, people, I think the way that we assess students is just very incorrect, and it's kind of leading to the desired use for AI. If the goal of an educational institution was about becoming a better student, then like, yeah, you would kind of look at the parts from, you would look at like the results of your learning, but the grading would come more so from you as a person as opposed to your work. And I think that that is kind of where we fell off a little bit. Like, I think that's where we should be going more so, instead of product. How good of a product can you make? You know, there is something I just thought about. I want to make art and be a content creator who doesn't show my face, technically like a PNG tuber. And I'm trying to make the realistic like art. And it's like, I don't have to do that. I can literally make it however I want. Oh, exactly. That's why you say please and thank you to the AI when you ask them stuff, so they are nice to you later on. I think we say please and thank you to AI because it is most of the time at least mimicking a human presence, and we have an idea that we're supposed to be kind to other humans. Like, the thing is Do I need to thank, insert AI person here? No, but am I still, if in my head, I'm still interacting with a woman's voice most of the time? Because, like Siri and Echo and stuff like that are usually women's voices. So it's like my brain automatically wants to default to like, oh, yes, of course, thank you. And you know what? I'd rather say thank you to the robot than maybe miss an opportunity to say thank you to a woman. It's like I had drinks. I want to try my coffee, guys. Let's see how my coffee tastes. Thoughts on searching for a world that doesn't exist? Ooh. Ooh. Chat, I could get into this, but we need to be respectful about it, okay? Also, this coffee is good. First of all, I would like to give my honest opinion about searching for a world that doesn't exist. However, I want to make one request of you guys as my audience to ensure that this is a respectful conversation, if that's okay. Okay, cool. So here are the rules and the boundaries I'm going to set in this conversation. 1, we can talk about the work of art. We can't talk about the person. We shouldn't insult wifeys at all. I'm not going to insult wifeys. If I'm criticizing his art in any way, I'm criticizing his art, not him as a person. 2nd, conversations and opinions exist in context. If you resonate with opinion I say, it's okay to repost it, but please direct people to the context. Okay. Third of all, I want to talk about why we criticize things, like why we engage in critique. I was sort of having I don't know what the word is, a little bit of a moment yesterday with one of my friends, because to be honest with you, I didn't really like the second part of searching for a world that doesn't exist. But if you saw on Twitter, I was a little upset that people were calling it slop. Because here's my personal opinion. If you're going to dislike something, that's totally fine. But I think that if you're going to voice your opinion about it on a public forum, we need to come up with a better argument than it's just slop, you know? Like, it's kind of like how I feel about like the block vomit debate. It's actually almost exactly how I feel about the block vomit debate. People say the word block vomit when usually they're sensing another design opinion about a build, but then they just say block vomit. You're allowed to, like, there's probably a better way to describe it. You can say, like, it feels too busy. It distracts from the main subject. I prefer simpler things. I prefer, like, yeah. Slop has no real intent behind it. The video clearly does. Also, chat, I'm about to make an insanely controversial statement. People can make things that aren't that good. That's allowed. you're allowed to do that. And that's not me saying that video isn't that good, but again, if somebody is implying that it isn't that good, it doesn't mean that like they're like accusing the creator of giving like of committing a sin, you know? Like you can say you don't like it. Well, see, the thing is like my issue is that most people don't give reasons for it, right? So there's this video that I actually really like talking about searching for a world that doesn't exist. It's by Frostbite Freeman, and he kind of is giving an analysis on Wifey's interpretation of The King in Yellow. And it was prior, I think. Yes, it came out before the oh wait, I'm so silly, chat. You know what I just realized? We're gonna get okay, wait, one second. What is the button? Okay. Set up symmetry. I just realized I can do symmetry. One sec. Okay, wait, and then control. Do I have it? How do I turn it on? Excuse me, I don't know why I did that. Okay, now what? Oh my god, chat, I learned how to do this and then I completely forgot. Set up symmetry. Guys. Bro. Wait. Sorry, chat. I swear, once I set this up, I will be perfectly fine to yap. Oh my god. I'm gonna look it up. Dude, I'm still learning how to use Axiom. How to set up symmetry in Axiom. Oh god. So once the node is set, you can start placing blocks. Wait, right click and activate it using Control F. Oh, okay. Control F. Oh. Okay. And I think I need to flip it. Or maybe I have to enabled Y symmetry. Okay, wait, how do I flip it? Control R. Enabled rotational symmetry. Oh no, guys, this is really scary. Wait. Wait, okay. Chat, I can do this. I'm actually the most capable person ever. Okay. I see, it's directional. There we go. Oh my god, I figured it out. Guys, look. Whoa. I'm actually the most talented person ever. Sniff this song. Oh, I've known about this song. Anyways, okay. Now that I'm all set up, I can get to my opinion, guys. So anyways, I'm gonna start by actually referencing the Frosty Freeman video because his video helped me understand The King in Yellow a little bit better. I really want to read The King in Yellow, but unfortunately for me, it does okay. It does contain one of my slight literary triggers, which is narrators that are descending into madness. I can't with that. My brain is just too imaginative and too all over the place. And so I try to avoid books where narrators are actively entering unstable states. So I don't think I'll ever read The King in Yellow for that reason. Many of the short stories in it do have that theme, so I don't think I can. But I have listened to plenty of recaps about it and tried my best to. I think majority of my critiques with Wifey's video comes from the idea that it's an adaptation of The King in Yellow. I think that I'm kind of on Frosty's side of I don't think that his interpretation of it is all that true to what has historically been. You know, everything's up for interpretation, but I do just think that there were some aspects of The King in Yellow that were completely misinterpreted or left out entirely. I think that's the main gripe I have with it. You know, again, as an adaptation. And I know he kind of amended it and was it's actually more of an adaptation of other adaptations, which is fine, I guess. But also, you called your villain The King in Yellow, so we're going to talk about The King in Yellow, you know? Their pattern creating is awesome. The build looks so good. Thank you. I like your stands. Yeah. Maybe I could learn a thing or two. You could always learn a thing or two. The world is beautiful. There's so much to learn. So that's my main issue with searching for a world that doesn't exist. I also think, and this is going to sound really harsh because I am actually going to talk about wifeys as a content creator for a second here. And I'm going to simultaneously say I understand, right? I understand because I feel too I have to make certain things that appeal to the algorithm and the general terrible attention span that we all face in this current day and age. However, I do wish simultaneously wifeys would almost trust his art more and his storytelling a little bit more. I kind of noticed that in the video he was doing the Netflix thing of recapping what just happened every 20 minutes, and there's nothing wrong with that inherently, but bro, I promise you your stuff is better than second screen content. You don't need to do that. You know? And I say this as somebody who also deals with this as a content creator. This isn't me trying to be mean. I'm saying this because I also do this. And this is also something I have had to struggle so hard with, is believing in my art enough for it to stand on its own to grab someone's attention without them losing focus every 20 minutes, you know? So yeah, I hope it like makes sense as a criticism and isn't seen as mean or rude. Like I said, it's also something I actively deal with. It's something I think a lot of creators deal with. Oh, and it's hard. It's hard in this day and age because then you do also literally have people being like, yeah, I'm not going to watch a 2-hour video. That's crazy. It's like, okay. But also, like, if the people aren't going to watch a 2-hour video, they're not going to watch a 2-hour video. For example, there are some cliches, but I really like the contradictions between the characters. Yeah, okay. IDK, it's like people forget it's an ongoing piece of media. You can't judge the plot too hard when it's not even finished. I would disagree with that, actually. I think that literacy and media and stories don't necessarily owe us, like, when they take up a portion of our time, we are entitled to have opinions about them, you know? I think, like, a good example I can kind of think about this is, like, when Starfield came out, a lot of people were like, guys, it gets so good, like, 18 hours in. Like, guys, the expectations are on the floor. Like, and I understand, again, the desire to get defensive about this piece of media. If you loved it, I'm so, so happy for you. But it's also totally okay not to. One Piece, yeah. Wait, like, that's, I know, like, can you guys imagine me saying I can't judge One Piece because it's not done? Oh god, I wish I like oh gosh, yeah. And speaking of characters and motivations, I didn't really like Avery that much as a character. Like, I just think that there were some I think his motivation of like Durlord saved me and therefore I need to save him. It was like slightly believable. Like, I could suspend my disbelief up until we were literally at the end, and I guess spoilers. Until we were spoilers, close your ears and for the next 30 seconds if you don't want to be spoiled. Until the literal end, when Durlord is like, "Yeah, if you stay here, all of humanity will die. But if you leave, I will self-sacrifice." He's like, "No, you can't do it." And it's like, okay, at that point, I think we got to build a little bit more character motivation than just you're another human. Because, like, we're doing, like, a whole trolley problem thing here, you know? And the you're another human argument doesn't work if we're sacrificing the entire human race. Does that make sense, chat? I hope that makes sense. And especially when you go into the original King in Yellow texts, a lot of them do focus on the themes of love and obsession. I think it would have been really interesting to see a story that focused more on love and obsession in this, like, in this storyline. Like, I think it would have been really interesting to see. Obviously, I don't know. I think, too, that I kind of struggled with was the voice acting. I feel like it was framed very interestingly within the narrative of the video itself in terms of, like, if Avery is a guy playing a video, why not just, like, have his mic on? Muted the stream for a sec. Are spoilers done? Yeah, I'm just talking more generally about the video now. But again, this is all, like, nitpicky stuff, you know? It's not me saying this to be harmful. Although, I do have to say, the guy who voiced the king, beautiful. Do it again. Like, it was so funny, too. If you guys go to the video description and you click on the Fiverr, it's like this old man, and it literally says, let me find it. I want to know how wifeys found this guy. Wait. Where is it? I have the link somewhere because I was. Yeah, okay. It's just this random dude's Fiverr, and his Fiverr package is called I will record a deep, terrifying cinematic villain voice over for you. True. Oh, God. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like, I say this and I can criticize this media, but I'm still so happy to see people taking the Minecraft storytelling medium and making it something, trying to innovate on it. Even if it's not like necessarily how I would do it, or maybe it's not even entirely perfect, I'm still excited to see it, you know? And I think the thing is as well is if you guys see someone like critiquing it like in earnest, not insulting it, but truly wanting to find something better within it, don't get too defensive about it. Like, talking about art and critiquing art is how we progress it. If you've ever been in an art class, you know very well that, you have those critiquing sessions where you sit very awkwardly in a circle and nobody wants to say anything because they either don't know how to, or they're worried that what they're saying is too mean, because we've come to take these things as so personal. But as long as it isn't personal, as long as someone's not sitting there saying, yeah, this guy sucks, a critique is fine. It will not harm anybody. What I never will criticize are the builds, though. The team did great. I fully agree with this. And actually, spoilers for my next video, but I'm partially talking about them a little bit, because my next video is about nature in Minecraft and building nature in Minecraft. And in order to do that, I kind of am trying to explain the difference between, like, I don't want to spoil too much of the video, but like, it does mean I have to talk about the uncanny, because it's one of the reasons why nature is so difficult to capture, is because of the Valley of Uncanny. So, the freaky ass, I think the main example I'm using is like just talking about how oh my God, hello, Mark. Also, wait, Mark, nobody's gonna understand this. I did see this stuff in that particular chat that you just pinged me in. I just forgot to respond, and I'll do that later. Okay. No one else is gonna know what that means, but that's fine. Oh, wow. Okay. Wait, let me make sure. I gotta keep looking at my reference image. I keep going on and on without my reference image because I'm just so... Oh, also, I think I got something wrong here. Wait. I think it's like a pedestal and then... Oh, no. I fully agree with what you said about critique. I'm currently in art school, and we have critique every quarter of the year to see what we're doing right and what we can improve. Yeah. I won't lie. It's one of my biggest, like... I think it's one of my biggest gripes with any, like, creative community right now, is that nobody knows how to engage in critique, or no one knows how to give it either, Like, I personally feel I always get kind of sad at, like, art, like, critiques, because I feel like most of the time people would just be like, yeah, I think it's good. And that's really nice. And I'm really like, thank you. But also, I can't do anything with that, Like, but I'm absolutely dog water at giving it. Yeah. And that's not entirely your fault. I think that the reason why people struggle to give it is because we have put so many limitations on it, if that makes sense. Especially like Lily, like people like you and I who are very empathetic and kind-hearted. I don't know about you, but like, it doesn't matter if it's actually mean or not. I struggle to, and have historically struggled to, give critique in my lifetime, because my brain immediately goes, oh, that's so mean. That's so mean. Because we internalize the idea that it's harsh too, whether we like it or not. Also, I'm going to increase this. Guys, I've actually gotten, despite earlier when you saw me mess around with, the symmetry tool for like 30 minutes, I do think I have gotten better at using Axiom, so that's cool. it is a very, very, very helpful tool. Okay, let's move this. The build I'm trying to build is kind of has like a fake grandiose to it, is what I would say. Let me see if this lines up. I don't think critique being harsh is always a bad thing, as long as you're being rude. Well, I think harsh almost like inherently is connected to the idea of rude. I think it's just unfortunate because we do tend to take things very personally, which is okay too, though. Like, like, okay, you know the phrase like it's not that deep. You know how like people say that a lot, especially in regards to like media and critique around media. I think that phrase is like real, like it makes sense, but I think it's misplaced, right? Like when we say it's not that deep, I think what that should be referring to is us regulating our emotions around someone else's opinion. Like if somebody says something negative about a piece of media that I like, for example, that's where I say it's not that deep. Like I need to remind myself that like, okay, they're saying this about a piece of media. They aren't saying this about me. I need to regulate myself and to realize that it's okay. I'm not being attacked. It's not that deep is better used to remind ourselves that instead of saying, this is why we shouldn't critique because it's not that deep, we should be reminding ourselves that if we disagree with the critique, it's not that deep. Back in college, I would critique with the following format. This is a strength and the other thing is a weakness, but within reach if you do that. Yeah, that's a really good format. I think that comes with a skill though, for sure. Oh, sorry, I missed your comment from earlier. Okay, I just tuned in when you stated you don't want to spoil the video. Have you seen Vsauce's video on Uncanny Valley? I probably should. I have on my desk, I said this earlier, I have The Psychology of the Uncanny, which is one of the first cited psych papers around the idea of uncanny. Like, it predates Freud. And I'm actually curious. I've never heard this psychologist's name before. And I was very, I'm very surprised there's not much information on him. It's the compliment sandwich. Good thing, bad thing, good thing. True. And also, I think that most of the time our desire to critique something comes from our love for it. Bleh, Freud, he follows us everywhere. Exactly. It was actually really funny because I was looking at this paper, and this paper literally begins with a translator's preface about how Freud took from this idea and twisted upon it in a way that I would probably disagree with. Which is like, girl, of course. Fork found in kitchen? Like... I'm not sure how I want to do... Maybe I could do, like... I'm not sure how much I want to cover of this. I feel like I have many an idea. I've been told I'm too mean at giving feedback, so I find it really hard to push through it. Oh, sorry, I'm going back and reading that mark. I totally understand that. I also get told that, but I think that's because people really don't like receiving feedback from a woman, like, at all. Yeah. But like I said, I think that's where... I think we do all need to get a little bit better at feedback, for sure. I think that there are multiple skills to be had about feedback. I also think that our inability to receive feedback and critique is a large part of why we struggle to progress forward, like politically and socially and such. Especially like in a society where we like have equated being wrong to like moral death. I don't know why I did this. I didn't need to break that layer, but I love being wrong. It's how I grow as a person. No, same. Nobody likes to be wrong, except me. I don't mind. See, I think, okay, this is my hot take. I think that being wrong and accepting it and acknowledging it and moving on beyond it is probably the most mature and I want to say like brave things you can do. I remember like, you know, back in my early content career, when I was like a teenager, mind you, and I am pointing out that I'm a teenager because I do think that people had pretty high moral expectations for me as somebody who had just barely graduated high school. Um, Especially somebody who hadn't really interacted with the online digital world as much. Like, I would change my opinions quite a bit because people would present me with new information that made sense. And it then became, oh, Sniff has no moral, or like, not moral, Sniff has no backbone or whatever. I'm sure anyone who's been around for a while remembers all that. I'm gonna be honest with you, like, there's obviously nuance to that whole situation and what happened there, but I do think that, like, the one thing that bothered me the most about that was how terrible it was being painted to change your mind. Like, I thought that was the goal. Like, and especially, like, as a teenager, like, I didn't know anything. You know, like I did know stuff, but I didn't. There was a lot of there was a lot of stuff I did not know, and so when being presented with new information, like, isn't it ideal that when being presented with new information, I take it into account and I change my mind? Doesn't always mean I'm going to change my mind immediately to the best things or come to the best conclusions. I can definitely say I didn't always come to the best conclusions because I felt like I needed to do them in haste under the public eye, but still, I feel like the demonizing of simply changing was very strange. I call that the football mindset. It's my team versus your team, and if your team is no matter wrong, but life shouldn't be like that. Yes, it's a very American point of view. Okay, let me see. Oh, by the way, thank you so much, Red Panda, for rating. I'm so sorry. My brain is all over the place, but I appreciate it so much. Okay. Stairs are coming along good. I think, let me look at my reference one more time. Pull up this image, and then it seems like I'm so bad at being wrong, honestly. As much as I'm working on it, it's still a hard thing for me. It's mainly due to RSD and being like emotional when I'm wrong. I really relate to that. I do, and I've definitely been there. And like what I was just talking about, I do feel like was the situations I faced, especially when I was younger, were not helped by the fact that I had RSD, or I still have RSD, right? I think my best advice on that is like, let me figure out the best way to phrase this. As somebody who has, you know, RSD and stuff like that, it's really easy to, oh, sorry, one second. My family is texting me. They're deciding that now is when we should make plans for things. Okay, sorry. My family's like, hey, what if we waited until Cassie streamed to talk about plans? Anyways, but the stuff with the RSD is like, I think when I would get in my head about my RSTs that my emotions didn't matter. But that's just not productive at all. That's not how you sort through them. So it's okay to feel sad about being wrong. It's just about where you kind of do it, you know? Like, for example, if you've hurt someone, it's okay to feel bad that you hurt someone. I think that's probably the most human thing you can do. But in that moment, that someone might not be wanting to know of your hurt because they'll feel like you're like because it your hurt might come across as centering yourself in the conversation, right? So I think it's all about like creating different support systems and understanding the time and place and the context of your own feelings. I'm trying to think about like another example. Like I had this friend who like had hurt me pretty terribly, and I mean it's exactly what I just said. Like they had hurt me pretty terribly and I was very upset, and they were upset too, which is fine. I think that's a very human reaction. It's I actually am rather comforted by the fact, not comforted is the right word, but like, you know, I would it's nice to know that, you know, they care about me so much that hurting me would make them feel uncomfortable. But then in that moment, they kind of turned around and expected me to comfort them about their feelings. And that's sort of a hard part of the moment. And you're allowed to take space too, I think. Like, you're allowed to be like, I'm really sorry. I hurt you. I was wrong. I want to take some time to sort through my feelings and come back to this conversation. You know, like I said, it's all about like, what is my symmetry off? My symmetry is off. Oh, wait, poop. How do I move this? Is it control? Wait. I see. That's why my stuff was getting all messed up. Oh my god. That makes so much sense. Excuse me. Another thing that hasn't been documented until recently is being wrong in the public eye. Before, when you did wrong, only people you spoke to would know about it, but nowadays everyone can see if you were wrong. And that, coupled with the fact that people are cruel, they can hide behind being anonymous and make it worse. True. Lily then says, I'm so aware of my problems, I just don't think I have the tools to actually improve. Oh, Lily, that makes me so sad. I feel like you seem like a very capable person. Then Luna says, I feel like my RSD is worse than necessary because of my autism. I just have a stinking meltdown, one or the other. I can, again, also relate to that. I have autism. I spoke about it today for the first time. Well, no, I've spoken about it a few times, but I've decided that I'm not really keen on hiding it anymore. I don't know why. I mean, it was kind of like an open secret, like, you know, like those who know, you know, like I've spoke about it like in the personal community Discord and stuff like that, but I haven't been very open about it on social media for a variety of reasons. But yeah, no, I totally understand that. It's hard, you know. It's really hard balancing, you know, your feelings as a neurodivergent individual and also what's expected of you and what's polite. I definitely feel that. Like I said, I think what's important to know is like you can still have like your meltdown. It's like about creating spaces where you can do that and have a support system and maybe not have the person who you potentially hurt there too, though, if that makes sense. I appreciate you as always, Sif. I feel like I may have worded that wrong. I'm attempted to achieve those tools. It's still a work in progress, though. You know, Lily, I love that change in mindset. That's beautiful. I'm very happy to hear that. Yeah. I mean, I almost always, I'm in that same boat. I see myself as a continuous student. I'm always learning and I'm always figuring out new things. And I feel like having that mindset also helps me, you know, accept that I am wrong, because I have to remind myself that I don't need to be wrong forever if I so choose. Or maybe I will be wrong forever, who knows? Okay, wait. Let me think about how I want to do this part. I thought you being autistic was so known. I was confused for a second when you posted about it today. Oh, dude. Well, okay, this is the problem, right? Because I've only explicitly said I was autistic, I think twice, like in like interviews and media, but it's been something that hasn't actually been explicitly stated for a very long time. But also, I feel like people know. I get so many comments on my YouTube videos being like, "Are you diagnosed?" Which are like funny. I don't they're not like mean comments. They're normally like real recognizes real, you know? But like I never like explicitly said it until recently. Like that was like my first autism awareness post I've ever made in my life, you know? Gee, what? No, dude, you guys, I do get these comments, I swear. It's funny how you switch sides despite it being mirrored. Well, okay. You know what? Good point. I'm just chat. I'm half vibing right now. Okay, I just go all over the place. It's you mentioned it in passing before during some streams actually. Oh, my bad. Well, okay. To be fair, that makes sense. Stream is a safe place for me. You know. Like this is the place where I can yap about my stuff because it's my place. Like you're in Snifferish stream, you know? It's a public forum that's not a public forum. It's like the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Wait, no. You could hear me. You could hear me mulling through it in my head. The clubhouse. I don't know why that sounds very ominous when you just say it like that. Oh God. Okay, wait 1 second. Sorry. I do love this song. I'm afraid. Left brain, right brain stuff. True. I don't know. I just like to go back and forth. I'm also just trying to. I don't like really know what I'm building. Like I kind of like half know. Like I'm just like kind of fudging it a little bit. My reference is literally a painting, so it's not like I have a full idea of what's going on here. We're going with the flow, you know? I'm very autistic, so it was I see you do talk stuff like I do. Real. No, that's what I'm saying. Real recognizes real. I don't know. Also, I don't know. I don't know what guys, I don't know what gave it away. Was it the chisel and bits? Was it the spending 60 hours on a single Minecraft build? Was it the what was it, guys? Be honest. Oh man. Okay, it's fine. We cope. Perchance. Mayhaps. Mayhaps it might have been the spending many an hour. I mean, I feel like the Minecraft YouTuber is like kind of enough. Dude, that was the thing too. Is like I would when I was still always like coming to. It took me a while to come to terms with too, and like accept it as an aspect of my identity. There's so many moments where I have these moments of self doubt. I was like, no, what do you mean? And then I'd be like, girl, you're a Minecraft YouTuber. Like, oh gosh, you're literally a Minecraft YouTuber. I'm imagining like a big arch. Well, I'm not imagining it. My reference has a big arch, but I'm also imagining it. Hi everyone, by the way. Hello. Okay, and then I think I want to do... I'll bring this in a little bit, and then... And yes, I am switching sides. You pointed it out, and I'm gonna keep doing it. Oh my god, my stomach is not happy with the coffee. Sorry, I'm that guy who has acid reflux and still drinks coffee like 3 times a day. It's really terrible. Please do not do it. I'm slowly getting over it. I might lower that layer a little bit. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. This is a very large build in scale, but it's... I'm planning on doing like a wide shot of it in a way. Keep up with the coffee? Dude, sure. Sure. I'm trying to think about how tall I'm gonna want this section to be in comparison to itself. Here, let's build it up, chat, and see where it goes. I'm personally thinking like... Okay, okay. I think that's sufficient. Higher chat, or do you think this is fine? 10 minutes, I'm having so many shit. Dude, I make typos all the time. It's okay. I'm actually typo king, in a way, if you think about it. My main issue is that I don't think I have dyslexia, but I do just mix up words quite a bit. I think I'm just a very slow typer, but a very fast thinker, which then just tends to me to lead, like, I just skip over entire words, you know? That's good, you think? Okay. Well, since no one else said anything, Lily's word is the gospel. Please do not take my word. Too late, Lily. Too late. Have confidence in your decision. Okay. I do probably want... I might... Wait. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna lift up a little bit. I've decided. Okay. I might lift up one more time. I actually have a different idea for the trim. Okay. Yo, Zip, hello! Hello! I'm just experimenting with patterns right now. Oh, that's a lot of months. Yeah, I think Zip here, I think has been since the beginning, I want to say. That's over 4 years, right? Yeah, 48 months. It's honestly not that fair because like I said, I don't stream much anymore. So not saying that you're totally fine, Zip. You know what I mean. Okay, we'll lift that up one more. Yeah, I think that this is good. And then this will, let's see how this looks. I'd say that looks pretty delicious. Am I? Is that maybe that's a weird adjective to describe it. That's okay. Maybe actually I might lower it a little bit because now I'm worried about it fitting a frame. Let's do. Yeah, I actually think that. I think this is more ideal for me, honestly. I am in fact eating. I'm low-key locked in right now with my art, thanks to your yapping. Thank you! Inside of me, there is a white man that should have started a podcast and never didn't, or never did, so, you know. Man, it's crazy how they just do that. Sorry. That's not me insulting the podcast. Well, no. Okay. I'm so bad at remembering stuff. Dude, that's okay. Nah, you should start one. See... You know how many times I've thought about it, and then I go... like, who wants, like, oh my god, Amber! Sorry. Yo, dude, we were literally just talking about if I started a podcast. But hi, Amber. Hello, Amber Raiders. Guys, I'm literally just yapping. I don't stream that often, so I'm building, I'm chilling. But welcome, Amber Raiders. I hope you had a lovely stream. I hope things are going well, Amber. I miss you. Even though I didn't even like meet you in person. What can I say? Our shared panel really, I feel like I know you. Honestly, I feel that way about most of the women in this space. I'm like, I don't even know you, but like I don't know you at a personal level, but like, yeah, I know you. Twin. Okay. I gotta lock in. Chat, I'm so bad at this. I'm so bad at focusing. You would think the Vivans would help. It doesn't. It helps for 3 hours and that's it. No, you get it. Yes. Solidarity, truly. Yeah. Especially me, dude. Like, okay, guys. I'm gonna get on my soapbox here. I'm gonna do the thing, you know? Chat, this past month was really poopy stinky, you know? It's been a really poopy stinky month. Like, I'm so tired. Like, I mean, I didn't stream it all this month, so like you guys haven't ever heard any like live commentary on me about this, but the discussions around women in this space this month have been so aggravating for me, and the way that women have treated, and the fact that we just went through this entire conversation and immediately dropped it again because it got like it's no longer trendy again. Like, I'm just really tired. It has exhausted me in a way I just cannot express, you know? And I try not to get like doomer about this kind of stuff because I feel like then it prevents me from making the art that I want to make and the art that could potentially, create change. But man, is it a battle. Like, oh yeah. No, I've been feeling some type of way. And I won't lie, I have been really disappointed in the men in this space for how they're talking about the subject and like for how they're engaging with it. And yeah. And I just like can't coddle men anymore, especially. Like I just can't. And so I become the annoying, B word or whatever. And it's like sometimes I'm like, why do I even speak? Feminism being equated to a trendy social fad that dies out after a year or two always makes me so angry. Yeah. It's unfortunately, I think that's like how it's kept quiet. I think the main thing with feminism at the moment, and this is even like beyond the Minecraft space, is I think people talk about it like it's already fixed, you know? Like it like okay. For example, and this is me again, nuance here. I'm not shitting on anyone who did this trend. I think I did this trend one time as a bit, but like the name 100 women trend, right? Like it was like funny for a bit, but like I feel like the whole kind of bit of the naming 500 women or 100 women or whatever is like supposed to be a joke on like when women say they like a band and men are like, "Oh yeah, you like this band? Name 5 of their songs." It's like, "Oh, you are a male feminist? Name 100 women." Um and unfortunately, like naming 100 women doesn't actually prove whether or not they engage with those women or if they engage with their content or the things that they create or, you know, with anything actually. Like, it feels like overcompensating. It also takes an embarrassing amount of time. Yes, yes, 100%. Like, I. Like, I actually think we should change this challenge. I think it should be name 100 women and tell me what they do. Give me a sentence of what they do and what they have contributed to the world. Not that women have to contribute things to the world in order to be memorable, but like, I don't know. It'd just be interesting to see a man do that. Because I could tell you with certainty I could name 100 men and discuss what they've contributed to the world because the world won't shut up about it. Like, I don't know. I think, yeah, it's like what you said, Nova. It's like guys, we fixed the wage gap, so it's like we also didn't even do that or whatever. So it's like that's how they act. Like it's like this whole idea of like you should be grateful because you have this. Tell me a quality you like about 100 women that isn't just about their bodies. Ooh, Nova, that's tea. Oh gosh. Amber said, oh, sorry, I'm late to reading this message. For what it's worth, every time you share your takes, I'm so happy you did because you have such a way with words and I really appreciate reading and hearing what you have to say. Thank you, Amber. I really appreciate that. I think I get really hesitant to share my takes because I acknowledge that it's like, okay, I'm saying this and I'm saying it out loud and I'm not acknowledging it as a flaw of both myself and society. But I think that I have a tendency to self-doubt like many women do or femme people do. So I have a tendency to doubt that my opinions are A, valid, and then B, I also simultaneously worry that this is going to sound terrible, but like that people don't have good enough faith to engage with me, or enough understanding. Like, I will make references to educational material regarding feminism, and then people will not engage with that material and then act like it's my fault, I guess. Also, name 100 women that aren't just mainstream ones. They're naming very well-known people, and it's embarrassing. Hi, Ray. Hello. I don't know why I just got really excited, but no, you're so true. You're so true. No, dude. Okay. I. Oh gosh, it doesn't sound bad. It's so valid. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I just like. I don't know. I low-key don't care. Also, okay, chat. I saw a man today. And this isn't like me necessarily shitting on him, you know, but he made a point. The point that was made was, and I quote, okay. The point was, let me pull this up. Jamie, pull this up. The point was, and I quote, the men are doing their best. This is not me saying this. This is a quote from a man in the space. The men are doing their best to navigate this gender diversity stuff that they really didn't sign up for when they decided to make Minecraft videos. I wish you guys could see my face right now. I admittedly have been reeling from this quote for like the past like 3 hours. It's half the reason I decided to stream, because I couldn't focus on my work because I was so riled up. Crazy quote. I know, dude. Holy. And I actually called him out on this in the comments, and he said that this, like, from talking with people privately, he felt like that people were doing their best. And you know, to that I say, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I care about men and their feelings, because to be a proper feminist is to acknowledge that men have been left behind in their ability to understand and comprehend their feelings. However, in a conversation around women, I'm not going to center men's feelings first. We can deal with them afterwards, you know? Like, I still think we should deal with them, but let's deal with them afterwards. Like, so I just like, man, chat, I've been having a crisis about it, to be honest. Just that singular piece of text, because, wow. Yeah. Absolutely insane. No, truly. I also just disagree. I just don't think that they are. I just don't, like, chat, there are men in this space who I have engaged with behind the scene, and they act like they are literally white knights. Like, they act like they want to be the white knight so freaking bad. They'll talk on and on and on about, oh, I read feminist literature and stuff like that. And then I'll bring up I won't lie, I'll do the man thing. Because why not? Fuck it. You read feminist literature? Name 5 books. Bitch. Sorry, I mean, I shouldn't say that. Oh, God. No, we shouldn't use that word like that. But my point is like, like, and the amount of times, like, I have tried to engage with them as fellow scholars, even. Like, if you're going to sit here and tell me you're a scholar of feminism, I'm going to engage with you as a scholar of feminism. And then they can't engage with me. And I'm just like, okay, right. So we're just lying. We're just lying. We are just lying. Yeah. I don't mean to crash out about it. I'm just like, I've been having a hard time with it recently. And I want to, it's hard because I can't like call people out, nor do I necessarily want to, right? Like, I don't think that these men need a public call out, to be honest. Like, like, I think that I wish they would just talk to more women in the space, you know? There's this one really popular male streamer, and I think I might have mentioned this on our, like, not podcast. I keep saying podcast, but on our panel, Amber, who like quite literally said to me, like the issue wasn't that I was a woman, the issue is that I didn't make good content. So, yeah. And I want to say there could be some truth behind that statement, but I just don't agree. Especially like even when I started making content, like I just like I'm a builder. Like I'm like okay, here's my hot take. I just don't think that builders can like I already think that building is kind of a high skill ceiling content because the building is also part of the content and it is also a skill in and of itself, you know? Like, and I took it really harshly. And to be fair, I have made better content since. But all I'm saying is that nobody would ever say that to a man. Like, you know? Don't be shy. DM me their main. I literally couldn't. Also, this was years ago, and I want to believe that he's gotten better now, especially since he is so popular and surrounds himself with women in his content. Oh, but man, is it hard. Like, it's, it, he probably doesn't even remember it is the thing. I think that's the thing that gets me the most. The thing that saddens me is this thing that he said to me as a, one-off comment. Like, he probably doesn't even remember. Also, what is the template for good content? You put in effort, time, and passion into it. It's all well researched. Enjoying something doesn't mean that it's bad. Yeah, no, I fully agree. I mean, also, that was kind of another thing in the video that I watched today that I got a little bit peeved at. There was definitely like a little bit of a picking yourself up by the bootstraps mentality. And I think that that's like the mentality that a lot of men have around content because that's their experience, but that's just not really the experience of women in the space. Like, I don't know. If we're going to bring feminism to the Minecraft space, I don't want to bring white feminism to the Minecraft space, which is very much so the like girl boss, the like I'm strong because I have the qualities of a man stuff. Like, and that's not me saying that, you're like having those qualities is not like is bad. Like, I'm authoritative. I'm very masculine, like you could argue that I'm very much so like those things, but I still feel like if we center masculinity and authoritativeness and competition in our values as in content, then we are still centering the things that men do. Those kinds of comments are so offhand, they don't ever remember. And if you were to mention it to them, they would undermine it because they don't remember. Yes, exactly. It's so soul-crushing to hear a hurtful passing comment from someone that affected me so deeply, but they can't even be bothered to remember. Dude. And this is a person whose name I have to see every day. I have to see this person's name every day. I still interact with this person. Like, I don't even hold a grudge against them because, it's been so long, right? Like, there's no point in it. But, like, every now and then, something happens and I'm right back to where I was in that Discord call when it was first said to me. I don't forget stuff like that. Like, I work my ass off. I'm going to be so honest with you guys. It's hard. Like, I feel like I have the issue of sometimes it's difficult to show the amount of work that I do because simultaneously the kind of work that I do is less valued, and that's fine, that's whatever, but I have been undermined in so many ways in this community, and I am just frankly exhausted. It's honestly one of the main reasons why I switched to YouTube, because at least if I was doing YouTube, I could exist in my own world and in my own space. Like, my YouTube channel is my YouTube channel. Like, people come there and sometimes they leave pretty negative comments, but at the end of the day, like, get out of here, bud. This is my space. Like, and I can say that, and that brings a little bit of comfort to me, but also it doesn't, necessarily stop the prejudices that also prevent me from being acknowledged at times. 1 second. I don't know, like, for example, like I just like I feel like I put so much cinematic thought into all of my videos, and it's like the second that a man does anything cinematic, it's like he's fucking Jesus. Like, and I won't lie, like maybe it does come from a place of envy, but like also, so what? Is envy such a terrible thing? Is envy like the worst feeling in the world? I can sit here and say, yeah, sure, I'm a little envious. I kind of don't care. Like, yeah, not having to risk hearing shitty things that live that will demotivate you is smart. Seeing the finished product and being proud of it always helps with building a shield. True. I also feel like with YouTube, I think YouTube is also just better suited for my skill set. Like, one thing that I really loved about YouTube is I feel like the stuff that I create has more intention behind it and a greater, presence. And that's not me saying that like streamers don't have that. That's just my personal experience with YouTube. Um, but you know, that like for me, it just feels like the skills that I've always had and always wanted to foster are just much better suited for that environment. And especially like for role playing, I'm not somebody who's really great at live role play. So being able to film and edit is definitely a blessing for me. Also, as somebody who gets sick a lot, like the main reason I stopped streaming as much was mostly because I just kept getting sick. I'm 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 not like immunocompromised where I need to live in a bubble. Like I'm lucky. I feel so lucky that I'm still able to go outside and interact with the world and interact with most people. But I am immunocompromised slightly in the way that if I get sick, I am going to be sick for longer than the average person, if that makes sense. Smooth sandstone. You have a way with articulating yourself in the moment very well, but when you give yourself more time, like with the YouTube videos, you are downright poetic. Thank you, Nova. That's how I feel. Like, I feel like I am a very, people have told me I'm very well spoken. I think it's just because I practice speaking a lot. I know that sounds weird. Like, what do you mean you practice speaking? I have conversations with people all of the time, and sometimes we repeat our conversations, you know? The reason why I'm so well spoken on things like feminism and sometimes social justice and different aspects of the world is because I've had the conversations before already. Like, it's practiced. And I mean, that doesn't mean that it's like fake or whatever. It just means that it's something I've decided to put effort into thinking about before. And that's something you're like allowed to do, by the way, You're allowed to like have a conversation and maybe fumble around in it. I think that's like the most important thing that you can get in a friendship is somebody who you can fumble through a conversation with and occasionally be wrong. Someone who you can really go back and forth with. Sorry, I'm making sure. I realize this playlist is repeating. I probably should change it. What do we want to listen to instead? What about the weird girl music? Chat, what kind of music are we in the mood for? This is what. Okay. Not to take away from you, but same, it's so frustrating. Dude. Okay, chat. There are unspoken rules in Snifferish streams, okay? Right? Here's my personal, here's a personal one. If you guys are relating to me, I promise you, I don't see that as taking away from me. I'm not really in that bandwagon. I think it is very natural to say, hey, this experience you had sucks, and I know because I went through it too. Like, I think that is totally reasonable. Like, I understand, I think to a degree why people think like that, but I just don't, and I can't find the will to think like that either. Where am I building? You know, that's a great question. I'm not actually really that sure. I'm kind of just going with the vibes. Also, you guys hear my chair? It's so squeaky. I love this song. Dude, I freaking love this song. Oh, I just wanted to make sure. Well, thank you, Cantor. Cantor, however you pronounce your name. That's very kind of you. Wait, I love it so much. Dude. Also, guys, another topic switch. Who here has watched Project Hail Mary? Because, oh my god, such a delicious movie. Honestly. Yeah. If you guys are looking for a movie to go see in the movie theater, I did like Project Hail Mary. I won't lie. It was good. It was good. It made me feel very human in a good way. Yep. I also love movies that are about communicating so much. Arrival with Amy Adams is probably one of my favorite movies ever. Like the way that the script is written around communication and the way that they talk about communication as both an art and a human experience is like one of the most beautiful things ever. Oh no, did my VTuber die? One sec. Where are you, Queen? Oh, she's right there. Wait, let me. Window size. No, stop changing the window size. Okay. The ghostly disembodied voice of Sniff, which is actually how most people are used to perceiving me now. It's so, dude, it's so jarring when I post videos, like, with my face in them, because, you know, I've got, like, a sponsor or something, and people are like, I've never seen what you look like. And I'm like, oh my god. Wait, that's right. Oh my god. Normally it's, like, people complimenting me, so, you know, thanks, guys. Oh my god, you're so nice. But it is really funny, because I'm like, what do you mean you haven't seen what I look like? I streamed with a face cam for, like, 3 years, and then I'm like, oh. Oh. Yes, I love Arrival. I randomly watched it on a plane once and it blew me away. Love that movie. You think any good space movies in a while? Dude, I love sci-fi, you know? I really hope. Okay. Do I get recognized IRL? Yes and no. The thing is like, first of all, I have agoraphobia. Oopsies. I always kind of wondered if it was like because I'm a content creator. Then I learned that both my dad and my grandmother had it, and my grandfather partially, so it seems to be more of a familial thing, you know? Not sure what that means, but that's just the truth of it. So I'm not really leaving my house much in the first place, which I am actively working on, but, you know. But when I do go out, I live in a state that is predominantly elderly people. I think... Wait, let me look this up. Let's fact check this, guys. Let's see what we can do. Okay. By the way, I've been pretty open about the fact that I live in Vermont, so this is not like, you know, I'm not leaking anything. Yeah, okay, so... Can I get like some percentages, please? Yeah, so it seems like... Oh, like majority of the population is like 40 to 50. So I say elderly, but I more so just mean like, I don't know, is that like middle aged? Not sure. So like the type of people who watch my content, I'm not really in spaces where I would encounter them that much. So I don't get like approached by them that much, you know? But like for example, when I went to a Ricky Montgomery concert and all the gays were there was like 6 people who were like, wait, are you Snifferish? I was like, oh my god, chat. That was rough. That was so rough, dude. Okay, actually, story time about that. And I know that there's somebody in the chat who I literally met at the concert. This is not against you at all. It's just really funny, right? Okay, so I'm there with my IRLs. My friends say they're gonna drive. So what do? I have a little toke, a little smoke maybe. That's right, Snifferish sometimes does weed legally because I live in Vermont and I'm over 21. Just so you know, Twitch, I'm not committing crimes. Um, and I show up to this concert and I'm a little greened out, you know, as one is, because I'm going to a concert. And immediately the lights are on. The lights are on. So like the venue lights are on, and it's like one of those venues where it's just like an open room, you know, like it's a smaller one. And immediately I'm like, oh my god, they need to turn the lights off. I don't want anyone. It doesn't help. I show up wearing a freaking Minecraft sweater, so like real discreet, big guy, like. And so I'm there, and I'm in that state, and people start recognizing me, and they're like, "Hey, can I take a photo?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, like totally. It's just like really bright, so I'm gonna squint." Yeah. So, you know, also like when I was in Misfits and I would visit other states that have like higher populations of young people, I would get recognized more often. So that's another thing to consider, I guess. Yeah. I remember I spoke to Charlie Slimesicle about it once because he used to live in Vermont. And we were talking about it, and he told me he would most often get recognized at the grocery store. Shh, chat. I have arthritis in my hands. Listen, like the anti-inflammatory properties are just too great for me. What can I say? And I feel like the grocery store makes sense because especially here in Vermont, I feel like a lot of like kids get stores at grocery stores, gets jobs at grocery stores. Wow, I'm an intellectual, by the way. Um, and yeah, also there are moments when I feel like people do recognize me and they don't say anything. Which I don't know how I feel about that, you know? Because I think most of the time they're doing it to be respectful. Or like they recognize me and they can't pinpoint it. They're like, wait a minute. I feel like I know you, but I don't know from where. I feel like that happens quite a bit. Most of the time, though, it's like people are like, they recognize me from something I was in with one of my friends. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Sniff fan meetup at Trader Joe's. Oh no, there's one Trader Joe's in Vermont, I think, and it's like the tiniest Trader Joe's you've ever seen in your life. One time I took Gravel there, and he was like, "Dude, this is like the Hunger Games cornucopia. Like this is crazy." I was like, speaking of, okay, I swear to God, there was one time when somebody recognized me at Trader Joe's. I'm sorry, the frozen food is good. You can't stop me. Everyone in Canada knows each other. I've actually seen Stiff a million times. Dude, me when I go to Montreal. It takes me a few minutes. It did take me a few minutes to walk to you at TwitchCon. I almost had a panic attack, but you and Bones were so nice. It helped. Oh, well, thank you. To be fair, I'm also terrible at meeting new people. So you're not alone in that camp. Like if you're sitting there and you're having a panic attack, like me too. Oh my god, wait, maybe we should just like panic together. Wee. No, dude, I'm not gonna lie. The reason I don't do meet and greets at TwitchCon is A, because of the germ stuff. Unfortunately, the one time that I did a meet and greet at TwitchCon, people were really quick to break my boundaries around touching me. And yeah, that's a really easy route to get me to not want to do a meet and greet. Like it's literally about my health, you know, like like and that doesn't mean like I think I hugged some people, like I'm okay with hugs sometimes and stuff like that, but there were like a few people who I don't know. It's a hard topic to navigate. And like, yeah, yeah. Um, and then also having agoraphobia and going to TwitchCon is really hard. Somebody just brought that up. What's TwitchCon like with agoraphobia? Honestly, that's why like sometimes I feel really bad about even when I'm going to a TwitchCon nowadays, I feel kind of bad about even announcing it because chances are I am going to spend most of the time I can in the room with the least amount of people. Yeah. It was my first TwitchCon ever, and you were the first person that I walked into. I fumbled to take out my trans flag for us to take a photo together. I think I remember that. Was that at TwitchCon EU in Rotterdam? I guess the delay, we'll have to find out. But you being nice helped me. Oh, that's wonderful. I'm glad that I could be kind. I mean, that's the thing is like, even when I'm like, all I gotta say is like, if you guys ever do meet me and I seem uncomfortable, please don't take it personally. I'm just kind of mentally ill. So much noise and bustling about, it's overstimulating. Oh my gosh, yes. The first time I went to TwitchCon San Diego in 2022. Oh, that was the most terrifying experience of my life. I actually like, not like actually, that's a hyperbole. Like, you know, um, but like it was a lot. It was a lot. Also, it's really expensive, guys. Oh my god, traveling's so freaking expensive. Yeah, 2022 was rough for that. Yeah, it was rough, and then we were also still wearing masks. And I'm not gonna lie, chat. Okay, when people, and I guess I can talk about this now since, guys, I came out today. Like when I was a closeted autistic person, I actually really like masks. Like, I like being able to wear a mask because then I don't have to mask, if that makes sense. Like, for me, the biggest thing that my autism causes me to do is I have, like, kind of a horrendously. I wouldn't say it's like RBF. It's like. Here, I'm sitting up in my chair. I gotta change squatting positions on my chair every 5 minutes. It's like a combination of looking very confused and unamused face, and like that's my natural default face. I am not somebody who is like smiled a lot. Like I do smile a lot more now, but it's so practiced. It's like I remember like like in Christmas when I was a child, right? Like I would literally be getting my mom would give me the gift that I had wanted, like the gift of my dreams. And I would say, "Thank you so much. I love it." And she'd be like, "Why aren't you smiling?" And I'm like, "I'm so sorry. I can't for some reason." Like that kind of that's like one of the main ways the autism manifests for me. So when I was wearing a mask, it was actually kind of nice because I didn't have to worry about if I was smiling or not. But then that very much so. Oh my god, thank you, Nebby. Wow, Nebby, giving Amazon your money? That's really messed. Sorry. I'm joking. I'm joking. Thank you. You should subscribe to my Patreon instead, though. You should give another corporation your money instead. Oh gosh. Sorry, that's not against you, Nebby. That's just what it feels like being a content creator. Guys, do I choose Evil Corporation #1 or Evil Corporation #2? Be honest. Yeah, school was rough. Everyone thought I was going through something. I was, but like you don't. Yeah, it's like I am, but like you don't need to know that. like, can't a girl have some secrets? Like I'm trying to be mysterious, and you guys are making it hard. Twitch sucks. Doo-doo caca, dude, real. Yeah, dude. Okay, listen. I have some gripes with Patreon. Don't get me wrong, but at least they're like when you give me money on Patreon, they take I think like less than 8%, whereas Twitch takes 50%. We're gonna have to go the most direct route, giving my viewers my phone numbers so that they can Zell me. Wait, you might be onto something. Yeah, Twitch takes 50 by default. That's the main reason why I've always told people I'd actually prefer if they subscribed on Patreon than Twitch. Because like, yeah, 50% is disgusting. No, I fully agree. YouTube ad revenue is also 50%. It's actually evil. I won't lie. Yeah, no, I was out of the things I've been having, crash outs over, right? Um, I think I saw a report somewhere about like YouTube surpassing Netflix in income or like in revenue or something like that. And I had like I had a minor little crash out over it because the reason why they have such high profits is because they basically have figured out a way to have thousands of employees without providing them any benefits, right? Like, unfortunately, as much as I hate Google with a deep, insane passion, like, yeah, YouTube does support Google. And, well, YouTube is Google, right? And so that is how I make my money. It's how you can watch my stuff for free. Like, if there was a way for me to like go to a different platform and still have the reach, I would do it in a heartbeat. Honestly, to be real with you guys, I would really love to join a program like Nebula. If you guys are familiar with Nebula, you probably have seen them advertised around YouTube a little bit, but it's like a creator-owned platform and you pay a subscription instead. If I could do that, I would. But then again, that also comes into an issue because Minecraft has pretty strict rules around the ways that you can monetize your content. So, like, theoretically, I can't put a Minecraft video behind a paywall. That's why I have to normally upload it to YouTube first before I put it on, like, yeah, yeah. It's really hard, dude. That's so confusing. Dude, trust me. I think if you ever feel like being confused, just read the Minecraft EULA. That's what I say. The Chaperone speech will be so relevant for so many things. Wait, which one? I feel like she said many things. Also, 1 second, chat. I have to drink my coffee. I'm being really slow about drinking it. Everything Chaperone says is... Speaking of, oh my god. Guys. The whole thing going on with her like a week ago, that was crazy. Am I like I didn't even really pay attention to it cuz I kind of like yeah. No, artists having no healthcare benefits. Dude. I That's the main thing, right? Like I think what makes me the saddest thing, like what makes me so sad is that I make money for YouTube. I make money for Google, unfortunately. That is a truth of my job, right? I make money for Google and they don't owe me anything. They could delete my channel tomorrow. They could never provide me with any sort of benefit like healthcare or anything like that. Chat, I'm gonna be okay, wait. You know what? We're gonna get into it for a second here. We're gonna get into it for a second. Can I be very income transparent with you guys right now? If that's okay. Just because like I want to put into perspective for a lot of people. I feel like so many people have this idea that being a content creator is like such an amazing job and you make so much money and you're so good at this stuff. Okay. Bones and I on average make around $80,000 to $100,000 per year combined. which comes out to about $40,000 to $50,000 per person before taxes. Then we are taxed normally at a rate of around 25 to 30% because self-employed people are taxed higher. So the take home then ends up kind of being more in that 60 to 70 range. I'm losing my health care in, well, Bones is going to lose their health care in a year. I'm going to lose my health care from my parent when I turn 26. I've done research into how much it would cost to get decent health care for Bones and I, one that could handle the fact that I am chronically ill and also need medication, monthly. We're looking at a cost of around $2,000 to $3,000 a month. $2,000 to $3,000 a month for medical care. And it's like, what's the point? I'm paying an additional 12% in taxes because purely because I'm self-employed. And what does that go to? That doesn't go to some sort of health care that I can apply to or any sort of benefits for other self-employed people. Hello? And to be honest with you guys, I'm a person where I'm not against taxes. I would, dude, if I knew that my taxes were actually going to school budgets and things in my local area and to places across the country that need it, I would be so much happier being taxed. If my taxes were going to universal health care, but they're not. They're not. I think if you guys remember last year, my grandmother passed away, and she was an artist. And sorry, I think the Fossa bot got you there, Amethyst. She was an artist, and she, like I said, she was an artist. She had agoraphobia. She really lived in this apartment of hers, and she had so many canvases and so many art supplies that my aunt let me take with me after my grandmother passed. And it was to the point where I was like, this is too much. What do I do with this? So I was like, oh, I'll just give it to one of the local schools, And bear in mind, this is a local school in a pretty well off, pretty secure district. They were thanking me up and down. They were like, oh my God, we don't have the budget for canvases and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, man, dude, oh my God. It would be incredible if we could just say, hey, give me my taxes specifically to school or something. Dude, I would love to do that. I would love, if I could choose where my taxes went, it would 100% always be education. Isn't that voting? It is voting, but it's not voting to the same degree, I guess. You have to get more involved in local politics normally to do stuff like that. But then again, at a nationwide level, you have less control over that. It's the complex nuances of the American politics system, the one that is meant to be complicated kind of almost on purpose so that nobody feels confident in approaching it. All right, I'm gonna work on these sidewalls. I probably should figure out what's going on over here. Feel like I might just do this. Vote Sniff 2028. No, thank you. I never want to be in a position of power, actually. I'm so tired of it. I say I'm so tired of it as if I've been in one before, but it's really unfortunate. I do think that I would be very helpful in those particular areas, but I fear my brain is too broken for it. To be fair, I think that about a lot of things. Every now and then I'm like, what am I doing being a Minecraft YouTuber? I should be like, I should like go be a scientist or something. The scientists are missing me right now. What's awesome is that you could learn science and be a Minecraft YouTuber. Okay, so, well, um, you see that the thing about that is that, I don't know if I have the capacity for that. Did you go to uni? No, I did not. I dropped out. Uh, Admittedly, this is gonna sound like the most self-absorbed reason, but I just felt like I kind of knew everything that they were teaching me already. And I kind of was like, why am I paying this much money for this? You know? Also, I just don't think, I mean, I think my brain was just still really broken from COVID. COVID was really dysregulating for me in a way that took years to recover from. And I'm totally fine with acknowledging that. My graphic design professor knows nothing. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I would say out of the. Like, okay, so for context, teachers widely viewed me as a good student. And I say that in a sense of I got good grades. But I think that I was a good student of myself and what I was able to teach myself. I never really considered myself a good student of theirs because whenever they would try to teach me, it felt like either A, something I already knew, or the way that they were teaching me felt unproductive. So I would admittedly tune out a lot of my teachers and just do whatever I wanted. Right, so these are unaligned. Or no, I just filled that. Ugh, Cassie. Whatever. Okay, I don't even know how I did that. My graphic design professor knows me. It makes me insane. I did the zine with no input or teaching from him. Dude, like, that was one of the main reasons why I was like, do I even want to go to art school? Like, because, like, I don't know, like, when I was in high school, I feel like all of my art teachers would just be like, wow, you're so good. And I'm like, okay, so I'm not. Like, I know that I'm not the best to ever bestest because I'm not freaking, like, Van Gogh or whatever. So can you actually, like, give me something to work with here? Like, please? Please? Can you say something that feels like I have the ability to progress? The only reason I still want to go to art school is so I can be an art teacher. That's so valid. I also would, I joke with Bones. I'm like, what would I do if I retired, right? Like, retired, and by that I mean, like, switch careers. I'm like, I would love to be an art teacher. It also feels like it's only going to get worse and worse. Yeah. Oh, I'm the same way, Atlas. Well, that's another thing, too, in regards to, like, the whole me not going to uni thing. Because of COVID, okay, so AP art class is a great class to take if you're going to go to an art college, obviously, because it's an entire class dedicated around building a specific portfolio with a theme, right? I was kind of relying on AP art to help me build out my portfolio so that I could apply to art schools, but because of COVID, my AP art class got reduced from a year-long class to a half-year-long class that I was going to take after college applications. And therefore, I had no portfolio, so I didn't apply to any art schools because I didn't have like a structured portfolio, and I was like 17 and I didn't really know what to do. Also, even then, like, my specialty in art was painting, and none of my teachers, despite the fact that we had like multiple art teachers, none of them knew anything about painting. Like, they would openly say, like, yeah, no, I'm not a painter. Like, which, like, what? If you're gonna if you're gonna have the luxury of having multiple art teachers, wouldn't you want to like diversify what their specialties are? Is that asking too much, chat? Be honest. Am I asking too much of this world? Especially when there was literally a class called drawing and painting. That's what gets me too. How are you gonna have a class called drawing? Like, how are you gonna have a painting exclusive class and no teacher? You know? Then hire a painter. No, literally. Like, hello? It's the same thing with like they would always have it, like the teacher that they always had teaching ceramics didn't specialize in ceramics either. They would like hand off the like ceramics thing to just like they would like switch it around. Yeah. No, I'm serious. Like they would like the teachers would heat waves. Thank you. One second. Let me take a sip of my water. The teachers would like go back and forth on like who taught ceramics, and it was like pulling the short straw to them is the way they described it. That's not me saying I don't love these teachers. Like, I loved I do still have so much admiration and so much joyous memories of the art teachers that I've had. But I do think that like the way that the hiring was structured in that regard was really funny. Okay. Hiring. Oh my god. You got hydrate again? One sec. Another one. But like you aren't helping me grow, literally. Yes. Like, isn't that your job? 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 Ugh. Yeah. Yeah, I think one of the main reasons why I feel drawn to the idea of an art teacher is because, like, oh my god, you guys are trying to make me drink water. This is really messed up. How dare you guys? Why is chat trying to drown you? I don't know. Oh my god, wait, guys. I remember the first time I drowned the other day. It was like so freaking random. Like, I was just like in the car, right? And I was like, have I ever drowned? Like, I thought that. Bones. One sec. Like, I was thinking to myself, I was like, have I ever drowned? Like, and I was like, you know, going through the files in my head, my memories. And I was like, oh my god, I have. That's so funny. I can't believe that. Dumbass. Like. I'm very anti-water, very pro-diet Dr. Pepper. Well, okay. To be fair, I was like a young child. So not that young, actually. The first time I was doing like the younger sister thing where you want to do everything that your older sister does. And I followed my sister out to the deep end of a lake with no flotation device. And she was kind of being a little bully, I won't lie. And she was like teasing me at first, but then I started like actually drowning, like, you know, like my lungs filling with water. And then my mom started freaking out. And there wasn't like a lifeguard because it's like a small lake in the middle of nowhere. So it took my sister a second, but she eventually figured out that she could give me her flotation device. Or like, I think she went and retrieved another flotation thing. And then I was fine. But I did have to like cough up water for like 5 minutes. Then the other time was when I was in Maine. And I'm not a big fan of the ocean. I just really don't. I don't like salt water. It's nasty. Yeah. And, you know, I wasn't very well educated on like how tides and currents work. So I got swept up into like a little whirlpool. And I was, I think like 7 or something. So I wasn't that strong. And again, this is a beach. Like, and it's a little bit of a different beach. So, you know, lifeguards weren't exactly positioned in the correct ways. And so my dad actually went in and got me, which was kind of seen as like a little bit strange because my dad doesn't know how to swim, but he figured it out. But yeah, those are like the two instances. Like, and I say like, I was thinking like, what counts as drowning, right? And I was like, well, I think when water enters your system without permission. And so, yeah, there we go. That chat. Those are the 2 times I drowned. Wait, guys, this is so fun. Wow, yay! I hope you enjoyed that story time. Oh wow. Hey man, at least I didn't fully drown, you know? What can I say? He figured it out is crazy. No, dude, I will okay, you have to like for context, my dad is like a very large man. Like not like he's got like the classic like beer gut thing going on, but he's also just like a large guy. Like, you know. And so he literally just like walked through the water, if I remember correctly. What a totally normal and funny thing to join stream to. Hi. Hi. You could have Shane Toplore. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Anyone else waterboard themselves when taking a bath to see what would happen? Whoa. Whoa. Too personal. I'm just kidding. Chat, oh my god, I miss taking baths. Sorry. Maybe this is too personal. I don't care. I have a complaint. I don't have a bathtub in my house that works. There's like one, like, okay, there's only one full bath where I live, right? And this house is like so dated and old and not only like half working most of the time. And the bathtub doesn't work. Oh, and I miss it. I miss guys, I miss the luxury of a little bath. It's so funny because whenever I travel and there's like a bathtub somewhere, people like I get so excited and everyone's like, "Why are you so excited?" I'm like, "Can a girl get a little excited about a bath?" God forbid people have hobbies like bathing. I actually think we would benefit quite a bit if more people developed bathing as a hobby. Oh. Colored bathroom, you will be missed. Okay, listen. Atlas, you don't understand. Because here's the thing. My tub is blue. The tub in my bathroom is blue. Like, it's like a teal blue. Because my house is from the 60s. And I grieve the fact that at one point in that bathroom, there was probably a matching toilet and sink. And they took it out. Maybe I wouldn't hate my non-functioning blue bathtub if the blue toilet was also there. Yes, I know. I'm sorry, Atlas. I always have to bring it back up. You sent me a photo, did I? I'm so sorry if I've sent you a photo of my bathtub. That's so funny. This area is too shower focused. We need to bring back having a nice bath on the regular. You know? Why not both? What's so wrong with even a little bit of both? You know, you take a bath and then you like rinse off in the shower just in case. You know? Alice, what context did I send you a photo of my bathtub? That's so funny. I'm sorry. I'm actually just laughing because you guys must think I'm so strange. We talked about this in depth? Oh my god. Guys, I want you to know that I'm kind of like a dog and I get really excited at interacting with people. I know that that's like really funny because I did also mention I have agoraphobia earlier, but like one of my favorite things is just talking to people. So I sincerely apologize if I start talking to you like I know you. Yeah. I don't know, guys. Sometimes I'm just a little dude. So just sending photos of their bathtub, dude. Every now and then I'm like, should I Should I get more professional? I'm like, nah, that's too much work. Why would I do that when I could talk about, I think that like the thing is like, I think the whole human experience is about sharing and relating with people. I think that's like half the fun. So why not, I don't know, ma'am. I think we were laughing about interior design. Yeah, well, that, that would do it. It's like I gotta drink more water or more coffee. We'll find out. Wait, Sniff. What? 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 Sorry, I just want to be dramatic. Dude, I love waiting for stream delay. You look up Jenna Phipps? Wait. I feel like I know. Is this the one? Dude, Bones and I have been watching this interior design. I'm just gonna subscribe to her. I'll look at this later. Oh my god, wait, somebody. Sorry, somebody commented on one of my YouTube comments. I got distracted. Guys, I love my YouTube's comment section. I just want to know if you're a regular commenter on the Snifferish channel. You guys are so funny. The build is getting beautiful, by the way, Sniff. I love the depth. Thank you. I'm trying to make it, like, I am going a little bit larger than I normally do because I'm kind of trying to do, like, a School of Athens thing. I might have to shrink it in some ways. We'll figure it out. Oh. But it's also 6 o'clock, so I'm going to go get ready to make dinner, or by that I mean I'm gonna go hang out in the kitchen while Bones makes dinner and sit there and tell them how delicious it smells. So that's my job. And read my little research paper that I printed out that I need to read so that yeah. All right. You know what, guys? Thank you for coming today, and thank you for dealing with my nonsensical but partially sensical yapping. It was very fun. I definitely need to try streaming more often. I always say this at the end of the stream. I'm like, guys, I need to stream more often. But also, I feel like just waiting for the vibes to happen and letting it happen are like my favorite thing. So who knows? New video later this month, by the way. So keep an eye out for that. Yeah. All right. I hope you guys have a good one.